Thank you very much. Can you confirm that the 4 terrorist attacks and the 12th foiled that has happened on Australian soil was committed by Muslims? And if not, who?
Well, I did mention, Senator, in my opening remarks that certainly of the 12 thwarted attacks, that one of those indeed involved a right-wing extremist. So the answer is no, they're not. They have not all been carried out by Muslims. But I've got to stress, Senator, this is very important. ASIO does not make its inquiries or its assessments on the basis of somebody's religion. We are only interested in people who are exhibiting or offering violence. And to the extent that there is violent extremism, which is very frequently inspired by a warped version of Sunni Islam, that's when our interests are invoked.
So most of these people do follow Islam, the teachings of Islam, and that's where the radicalisation. So we've had an increase of radicalisation.
I can't comment on how devout they are, Senator. I have no idea. Are they violent? Yes.
Do you believe that radicalisation could be happening in our mosques? In mosques?
Well, again, believe is an opinion, but I mean...
I'd rather not comment on that, Senator, because it actually goes to some of our operational work. But I do go back to my earlier answer that we're not interested in religion, we're interested in whether an individual is exhibiting or practising violence.
Correct, I understand that, but a lot of the problems that are actually happening in Australia is because of the increased belief in Islam, and that's where it's the only religion that we have in Australia that we've had now terrorist attacks and problems that are happening on our streets. And that's where we need ASIO and the police and everyone else to try and thwart these dangers that we have and loss of life. Do you believe that the threat is being brought in possibly from Middle Eastern refugees that are coming out to Australia?
I have absolutely no evidence to suggest there's a connection between refugees and terrorism.
Is ASIO concerned of women wearing the full burqa in some areas for security reasons?
We've made it plain on a number of occasions, Senator, that we have no security reason to be concerned about the wearing of a burqa other than the requirement for individuals to identify themselves to authorities, and there are regulations in place for that.
One last question. Are you aware that in Canada there's been an increased number of children that are born there to refugees who are actually converting to radical Islam? And is that also happening here in Australia?
Well, I'm not familiar with the Canadian experience and I see no evidence of it here, Senator.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Yep.
Hanson. Yes, I will go to Senator Kim.